I have decided that I'm going to do a video at daytime. And I've decided I'm going to do a video at daytime. And I'm behind my Infinity War poster. That's the game one. So, there's just two beds in this room. For guess sleepers, except for the women. Who, Anyway, so today I'm going to do a movie review on the movie. Once again, I never got to review because it was off YouTube. But I saw this movie in the cinema or the movie theater back in 2018 when it first came out. That was 6 years after I was caught. Maybe 10 years this year. Bohemian Rhapsody. Based off the real life of the legend Freddie Mercury and Queen. Now, this movie is very divisive for a lot of people. I do have issues with it, but I love it. I don't know if that had to do with the fact that Bryan Singer directed half of it, because he is a piece of shit scumbag that he had to drop out, and he was replaced by the director of Rocket Man. Who is that? I don't want to. Whatever, fuck it. We'll find out later. Right. Anyway, so basically, what the plot of Bohemian Rhapsody is, you got Freddie Mercury. Right. I'm not going to say a man named Freddie Mercury. Ramy Malik playing the real life legend singer Freddie Mercury, and basically, he works at like a airport place thingy, and he's Pakistani, British, kind of Pakistani, and people kind of bully him for it and all. Like, oh, they say that I'm not going to say the word because it's not, not nice. And he's living with his family, and basically one night he goes to a bar, and he has these three fucking people there, singer, drummers, they're singing a song, "Doing All Right," and then like the lead singer quits on them, and then pretty much Freddie Mercury ends up going and asking, can he try and sing? And like Ben Hardy's character is like, yeah, not with those teeth, mate. Then eventually he does, he blows them away. And then what ends up happening then is he ends up joining Queen. They hire the guitarists, two guitarists, the drummer, and all that. And then they start singing and singing and singing, and then recording albums all around the world. America, Britain, Australia, Ireland, Dublin, everywhere where they basically go, and they become really, really famous. And Freddie Mercury ends up getting married to this woman played by Lucy Bolton, who he met at the bar, and he's like, "Oh, you'll never take it off." So then they make out, they have sex, blah 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 blah. Eventually, stuff happens to go off in their relationship. Like, he doesn't say "I love you" anymore when she says it on the phone, and eventually it's confirmed Freddie Mercury is a closeted homosexual and is gay. He ends up saying that he's bisexual, but no, he is gay. And fuck off, virus protection, you bollocks. Sorry. Anyway, and basically we get to see him hooking up with this guy who treated him like absolute dog shit, and he's from Northern Ireland as well. We get to see John Reid, played by Aidan Gillen, Irish actor, who is like his music producer. Freddie eventually fires him, and then eventually one of the barmans he kind of flirts with, he gets with later on, and eventually Freddie Mercury starts taking drugs, and he goes into that bad pit that everyone goes into, where motherfucker. Anyway, he falls into that bad pit of fame, that everyone goes into. And yeah, pretty much gets addicted to drugs, starts getting angry at like the people, you know, uh, paparazzis and like drunk questions and like, "What are you afraid of?" Freddie is like, "Why don't you get your manners checked, darling?" He starts firing people and just starts becoming toxic till he gets kicked out and starts uh, doing a solo career. Um, he obviously makes the song Bohemian Rhapsody in the middle of the movie, and that becomes a huge hit. And Mike Myers' character doesn't actually want to promote it. Bohemian Rhapsody, you know what I mean? Eventually, Freddie Mercury's unfortunately diagnosed with AIDS, and they decide he apologizes, he gets let back into the band, and then he goes and does the Live Aid concert, which was amazing. That's pretty much the movie in a nutshell. I know I kind of just summed up the entire plot. As I said, bigger movies with bigger plots, I have a hard time coming up with a brief synopsis. Um, Sorry, I'm getting this. This is why I don't do things at daytime. I prefer just doing it at night because I just feel awkward doing it. I used to do videos in daytime. I don't know. Um, so that's the movie in a nutshell. I fucking love this movie. I honestly think that this is one of the best music biopics ever. Big fan of Queen. Love Don't Stop Me Now. Don't Stop Me Now, which plays at the very end of the movie, and you get the pictures of the real life Freddie Mercury and the real life band. Um, I love Bohemian Rhapsody, the song. I always remember that being in Wayne's World, which is funny because Mike Myers starred in Wayne's World and he's in this movie. Um, I love Bicycle, Bicycle, which is not in this uh, film. What else? Yeah, loads of other songs he's done, great songs. Keep Yourself Alive, that shit. And obviously, we will rock you. So, yeah, but I love this film. I think that this movie is very well directed for the most part. From the two directors, even though I don't like praising Bryan Singer because he's a fucking scumbag, um, I love the opening scene where it shows the concert and he's getting out of the van and he's walking and you get the nice shot of the guitar and he goes on stage and the millions of fans ever. Um, I think there's a lot of funny scenes in the movie, particularly with Ben Hardy's character. I found very funny. Like, oh, I know. I remember I was with them last Saturday night. I remember the names and stuff like that. Um, I love the scenes where they're going in and recording Bohemian Rhapsody. The Galileo, 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 Galileo Figaro. It's like, how many Galileos do you want? And then they want to get experimental and start throwing speakers at each other. No, speakers on the mic, not at each other. I like the bit where they're arguing. I feel so awkward doing this shit. I like the bit where they're arguing, right? And what was I going to say? Bit where they're arguing, and like, take your guitar out of here, blah 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 blah, and then the guy just starts going, and I like you're like, wait, just copy me what I'm doing because Freddie ends up being late, and like, you're late, you're late, you're not supposed to show up this late and all. It's like I was busy and all that stuff, yeah. So, and then like and then they end up going on stage, and I like the transition to we will rock you, and I think all of the concert scenes are done amazingly. I like the transition to when they're on stage. The part where they're recording Bohemian Rhapsody and then they're on stage singing it. I love the scene where Mike Myers is there, uh, and he's kind of talking about. No one's going to listen to Bohemian Rhapsody. It just sounds ridiculous. Like, no, it doesn't. And they're like, trust me, it will work. No, it won't work. I'm in love with my car. Some of the teenagers can bop their heads in the car. I love that scene. I thought it was funny. And then later on in the movie, when he hears the Live Aid concert, he's just like, no. And he does the English accent really well because he's actually from Liverpool. So yeah, um, I like when the van breaks down. There's a good bit of humor there. I love the bit where he comes back after his AIDS diagnosis and he does the "Ayo" in the hallway. Um, and later on in the movie, I like seeing the struggles of him, like the human struggles of him, like when he's up, like nearly has pneumonia. Pretty much, he's feeling sick, and Lucy Bolton comes to the door, and like she's all he has left. Then there's that amazing scene where he argues with the Northern dude, uh, and like you do see how toxic the industry can get sometimes. Like John Reed's a fucking asshole now. Trust me, John Reed in this movie, we don't see how much of a dick he is in this compared to like Rocket Man, where he's like a gigantic fucking dickhead in that film. But like there is a part where he's in the limo, he's like, "Oh, Freddie, don't kick me out." He's like, get out, I'll kill you," and all this stuff. And then we have that part where where they're recording in the barn, and then uh, you know, whatchamacallit, he ends up kissing the dude. That was the first indication that he's gay in the movie, even though I knew that before going in. And I Know You, Freddie Mercury, and we see how toxic that relationship is, and we see him lie on TV and all this stuff about sexual partners. But okay, I'm gonna get into the acting now. So Ramy Malik is amazing. He looks exactly like Freddie Mercury. It's actually scary how similar he looks to him. He does a great job in this. They did use the real singing voice of Freddie Mercury for the singing scenes, and they're dubbed over pretty well. The movie's very visually nice looking. It's very well directed. I like the part where they're having dinner in his family's house, and he's like, "Tell him his daughter is a good shag," and like Lucy Bolton's wife, no, Lucy Bolton's father's like deaf, and she's like, "He can read lips, Freddie." I like the part where you see whatchamacallit, you see I'm fucking hold on. Right, this is the last time I'm doing a review of Daytime because I can't fucking focus. Cars outside, like, shut the fuck up. It's the last time no, you see I like when Lucy Bolton's character gets a new boyfriend and her and Freddie actually get along, but he still doesn't want to take the ring off. I like the little thing they do when they turn on the light and look at each other, and then when she won't do it anymore. Um, I like how he still cares about her, even though he kind of fucks her over, but she's understanding about it, and she's like, I, I'm angry, but it's not even your fault. I think the music is done really well. It was great hearing the songs again. I like the rendition of Don't Stop Me Now. Uh, as I said, visually stunning. Brian May, the actor that played him, was great. You also have the actor from Jurassic Park who played the little kid, done great. Ben Hardy, done great as well. Hold on, I'm making sure. Hold on, I'm making sure I know all the fucking. Look it up for a sec. I'm getting this right. Um, Bohemian Rhapsody. I love the song, that song as well. Okay, okay. Gil Lee as Brian May was great. Joseph Mazz- Mazzalolo, who was also in, I believe he was in Boogie Nights as well. He was in Boogie Nights and he was in Jurassic Park and he was in Lost World Jurassic Park. He done a great job. Ben Hardy was surprisingly great as well because he was actually on the soap opera EastEnders before this and he was shit in that, but he's good in it. And he was in X-Men Apocalypse. He wasn't great in that, but he's actually quite good in this, and he's good in Pixie. Um, they're all very well acted. They've great chemistry. There's a lot of great humor, a lot of great dramatic scenes. The part where he tells him he has AIDS, and he's like, "Let the world know who I am, Freddie fucking Mercury," which is the only F bomb in the movie. And I like how we get to know a lot about his career because there's a lot I didn't know, um, and all that. Now, let me get to what I didn't like about the movie. Also felt okay. I'll say what I like a bit more. I felt like the movie was at a steady pace. It was visually nice looking. It was well written for the most part, well acted for the most part. Everyone done great except for a couple of people. Okay, next part. I didn't like the editing. The editing was shit in this movie, especially the scene where they first meet John Reed. Like, John Reed, nice to meet you. Like, where is this guy? The editing is consistently cutting back and forth, and like it does that a couple of times throughout the movie where you have to see everyone's expression, and I'm like, okay, so then and that, and then it won Oscar for best editing. I'm like, is that a fucking joke? The other thing is, Aidan Gillen wasn't good in this movie. He can't do a Scottish accent for his life. He sounded northern, to be honest. And they didn't show the side of John Reid. There was also a lot of sides they didn't show of Freddie Mercury's life, like him collabing with Michael Jackson. And the movie should have been R-rated. But other than that, the movie's great. It's a masterpiece. The Live Aid sequence at the end is easily the best part of it, though. The whole concert, they basically recreated the entire thing. You see people's reactions on the TV. They play every single song. Like, they play Bohemian Rhapsody, We Will Rock You, the all of that, and it's very well done. And you see the crowd, and it's a very long sequence at the end, but it's just amazing. And you see everyone's reaction. You see they play a bunch of different songs, and you do get to see the rise and fall of Freddie Mercury. And also, the only other issue I had is that I think for budget reasons, when they go into the crowd and you see millions of people, you can tell that some of them are copy and pasted, which is a bit like, okay, whatever. But you know, I honestly get goosebumps watching the Live Aid part, which goes on for like 20 minutes, half an hour, something like that, or 10 minutes. I don't know. It's long anyway. My perception of time isn't the best because of my dyspraxia. So yeah. So anyway, that was my movie review of Bohemian Rhapsody. I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10. I love this movie. One of my favorite films of 2018. Front, spine, back. Yeah. Front, spine, back. Some good special features. Oh, I love this, the way the Blu-ray is like an album. Yeah, we get to see him selling the albums and all that shit, the record deals and all that. So it's great. Great movie. So see you guys later. Bye. 20th Century Fox done it as well. And Regency. And yeah. Now, hold on. I want to make sure I'm getting this right. Director Dexter Fletcher. I knew the second name was Fletcher. That's the other guy that directed it. Okay. Directed parts of it. You can kind of tell sometimes it is directed by two different people, but it's still done well. So, yeah, that's basically it. Bye bye.